Punch, punch. Don't punch up, but step, step, step.
That's horrific stuff for a fight taking place at or near the top of the featherweight division.
In the featherweight division, you know, traditionally, when I've known it years back, was always a pretty good. Well, in bantamweights and featherweights, that's what people should say. Well, the heavyweights are big, but the really best fighting is always in middleweights, welterweights, and some of those little guys even.
Don't punch.
Well, the two guys who moved up. The two guys who moved up, Roberto Guerrero, Robert Guerrero, the Ghost, the other Ghost in the sport from Gilroy, California, the garlic capital, is a good workman-like fighter with basic skills, and Jorge Linares out of Venezuela, fighting most of the last 8 years in Japan, curiously inactive right now, but one of the most skilled young fighters to be found anywhere in the sport.
But this just happened to be just a matchup with styles between these two guys, because even though he's a stylish type fighter, he's been in much more exciting fights than this year tonight. But it's just a matchup of the two styles just doesn't work. But if Uevano picks it up, steps up the pace, I think he can win this much more decisively, because he doesn't appear to be as fast with his hands, but for whatever reason.
Fight fair, Billy. Fight fair. You all right, Stevie? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
For whatever reason, he seems to land punches just as easy as Diaz does.
Let's take a look at our next upcoming pay-per-view attraction on HBO.
They are superstars on a global scale.
They're fighting in the center of the ring.
Undefeated Super Joe Calzaghe, lightning fast with superior skills.
Calzaghe begins to hammer it home.
Undeterred Superman Roy Jones Jr., big, bad, and supernatural.
Jones gets his vindication.
Now their worlds collide. Battle of the Superpowers, Calzaghe versus Jones, Saturday, November 8th. Contact your pay-per-view provider to order.
Step out, lift leg out, Milan. Yes.
Wherever we're at, it's got to get better, doesn't it? Uevano still looks to be a teenager, but he's got 3 children. One of whom is 9.
He's 27 years old. And he was telling us at the fighter meeting yesterday that a woman here had asked for his autograph the other day and said, "How old are you?" And he said, "I'm 27." She said, "My God, you look like you're 17." And he confesses, he agrees that it has been an advantage for him in some fights. That he'll go into the ring against guys who don't think he looks very threatening and then find out that he actually can fight. And sometimes even be punishing. Billy Dibb landed a roundhouse right hand. Uevano falls down as Uevano was on his foot, does Billy Dibb, and that's why Steve Smoger ruled it not a knockdown. Dibb with a leaping in style.
Stay up, Billy. One hand's loose, your hands are loose. Don't punch, step. No. Does that count as an attempted punch? What Dibb is doing?
Well, the fact that in most fights, we often play a replay, and I have to analyze a replay. There have been no replays played at all this fight. There hasn't been nothing exciting enough for the production crew to even show again.
Why would you want to look at this again? Turn around, Stevie.
Now, you could put together a low-light reel with all of the things that have gone on in the fight.
Instead of a highlight.
Luevano going forward through the ropes and Dib reaching through to hit him when he was in an off-balance position. Dib going onto the floor with Luevano stepping on his foot. The number of times that the two of them have wound up hopelessly entangled in each other's arms. That's what it would look like. And yes, instead of a highlight, a low light. Dib has a mouse under his left eye. Good solid right hand by Luevano as the round comes to an end. That rarity, a cleanly landed perfect shot.
Cover him on the outside. Cut her off. Be quick. 3-2, 3-2.
Halfway, guys. Yeah, thank you.
Watch that head, Rev. Come on.
Here you see, instead of showing a highlight of a punch, we're showing a highlight of a trip. And you could clearly see that right there. Dib went down because of the fact of the legs getting entangled. And then not from a punch.
That was very quick of the referee, Steve Smogert, to see.
Safe.
Sure,
Took place right in front of where Shane Mosley is sitting.
All he wants is counter-punching. All he wants is counter-punching.
Mosley smiling despite the way the fight looks, but then Shane is a happy person who smiles most of the time.
Time, 1 sec.
Harold Letterman gave that last round to Billy Dib. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim. 58-56, 4 rounds to 2, Stephen Luevano. The only reason I gave it to Billy Dib was because Stephen Luevano didn't do a darn thing in the 6th round. But here's the May. Billy Dib is bouncing up and down. You know, if you got that style where you bounce up and down like that, you got to do something. You got to punch. And to tell you the truth, all he does is touch Luevano. If anyone is landing any solid punches in his fight, it's Luevano, and that's the reason I've given him 4 rounds. I think he's landing the more solid shots. Dib is on his toes constantly, just never seems to get any power. All he does is touch the guy. 4 rounds to 2, Luevano.
I have it 11 rounds to 1 for Luevano. I've already given him this fight.
You know, someone is going to have to take a gamble and take a risk. It's just not going to do too much for the audience. It's going to be waiting for this main event fight. And whoever takes the risk, I think, particularly Luevano, if he would step it up, I think he would win this fight much clearer. But it would not be as close as it is in Osborne, because he actually looks physically stronger than Dib, in addition to seemingly matching him at speed, even though he doesn't appear to be that flashy.
Now there's a scoop. Stephen Luevano looks physically stronger than one of his opponents. I mean, you got to search the globe far and wide to find somebody than whom Luevano looks stronger.
Yep, for this fight here, he looks physically stronger to him, and much more sturdier.
Don't punch, step, step, step.
Body shot by Luevano.
Break, don't punch. Step, no. Good.
Dib landed a tapping left hook. Well, as you watch this fight, you hunger for the excitement of Larry's pre-fight interviews with the main event combatants. And we're going to give you a pretty big thrill right now. Here's what Larry said earlier in his conversation with Kelly Pavlik.
Kelly, the atmosphere around this fight is, the result is a foregone conclusion. We just don't know how it's going to happen. What is your take?
You know, we're mainly stick to our game plan. Go in there, fight the 12 rounds. You know, we know what Hopkins is going to do. We know what pace he likes to fight at. Our job is go in there, stick to our game plan, and win every round convincingly.
Do you think he's capable of a pace that you're not expecting, that he can come out the way he did against Tarver a couple of years ago?
Well, he could, you know, but that's why we train as hard as we did for 8 weeks. You know, we're not only looking to go 12 rounds, but just like we did against Lockett and Jermaine Taylor, we're looking to go a hard 12 rounds. And if he comes out at a fast pace,